Every firefighter you've ever met is quietly carrying one call they never talk about. One. And it's not the fire that almost killed them. You think this job is about being fearless. It isn't. It's about what happens to the ones who make it past rank 5, because most don't, and the ones who do come back different. 10 ranks. From the recruit who fails the drill twice to rank 10, which isn't a chief's badge, isn't an office, and by the end of this video, you'll know why the ones who reach it are standing in the last place you'd expect. This is your life as every firefighter rank. Rank 1, the recruit. You show up to the academy at 5 a.m. because you watched trucks roll past your house as a kid and never stopped thinking about it. Nobody cares about that story here. Your instructor cares about one thing: whether you can carry 100 pounds of gear up 6 flights of stairs while breathing through a mask that makes every breath sound like Darth Vader, then still think clearly enough to find a door. You fail the time drill twice. You do it again anyway, lungs burning, legs shaking, because the only thing worse than failing in front of 19 other recruits is being the one who quit. You don't know it yet, but the academy isn't testing your body. Your body was never the question. It's testing whether you'll keep moving when your body is screaming at you to stop, because that's the entire job, every single time, forever. You pass, barely, which is exactly enough to get you assigned to a real house and to a rank nobody has ever bragged about, because rank 2 doesn't even get to touch the fire. Rank 2, the Probie. Your first day at the station, nobody introduces themselves. A senior firefighter hands you a rag and points at the engine. Clean it. All of it. You clean the truck that hasn't been dirty since the last Probie cleaned it. You learn that Probie isn't just short for probationary, it's a full-time job title that includes dishes, laundry, restocking the medical bags, and being the answer to every question that starts with, "Hey, who wants to?" You make a mistake on your third shift, you rack a hose wrong, and it takes an extra 40 seconds to deploy on a call that turns out to be nothing. A burnt pot roast setting off an alarm. 40 seconds that didn't matter this time. Everyone tells you, without raising their voice, that it will matter eventually. You start sleeping at the station in a bunk that still smells like the last 3 probies. You start flinching awake at 2 a.m. before the tone even finishes sounding, a reflex you didn't choose and can't turn off. Somewhere around month 4, an engineer lets you drive the rig to the grocery store. It's nothing. It's 400 feet at 15 miles an hour. You will remember it for the rest of your career. That's the day the crew stops treating you like the new guy, and it's the last calm day you get because rank 3 starts with a door and something on the other side of it. Rank 3. The Firefighter. You get your own gear locker with your name on tape above it, the first time your name has appeared anywhere in this building. Then you go to your first real structure fire. Nothing in training prepares you for the actual heat. It's not warm, it's a physical wall that pushes back against your whole body, and smoke fills a room from the ceiling down, so you learn to move low, blind, one hand on the wall, counting doorways like a man reading Braille with his whole body. Your officer's voice is the only steady thing in your radio. You find the seat of the fire because you were told where to look, not because you understood anything happening around you. You knock it down. You walk out into daylight-soaked, shaking, and more alive than you've ever felt in your entire life. Someone hands you water. Nobody makes a big deal of it. In this job, surviving your first fire isn't an achievement. It's a prerequisite. You go home and can't explain any of it to anyone who wasn't there. That gap between what just happened to you and what you can actually say out loud about it never fully closes. Remember that gap. It gets wider at rank 5. First, the job has to become your whole life. That's rank 4. Rank 4. The veteran on the line. Years pass in a rhythm nobody outside the job understands. 24 hours on, 48 off. Birthdays missed. Holidays worked. Sleep interrupted so many times that unbroken sleep starts to feel like something that happens to other people. Your body changes in ways that mark you the way a boxer's knuckles mark him. You know the exact weight of a charged hose line. You can identify a car fire by smell before you see smoke. You develop the firefighter's stare, the one where your eyes go somewhere else entirely while your hands keep working, because you're already 3 steps ahead of whatever's in front of you. You pull someone out of a car for the first time. You pull someone out of a burning building for the first time. Both moments live in your chest permanently, filed differently than every other memory you own. Your family learns to stop asking, "How was your shift?" because the honest answer doesn't fit into a dinner conversation, and the dishonest answer, "Fine," is the one you both agree to use instead. You cannot leave this job at the station. It has rearranged the part of your brain that used to worry about ordinary things. And that rearrangement is exactly what the job needs from you. Right before rank 5 asks for something it can't give back. This is the one from the beginning of the video. Rank 5, the one that stays with you. Every firefighter has one call. Not the biggest fire, not the worst injury statistically. The one call that attaches itself to you and doesn't let go. Maybe you get there and you're too late. Maybe you get there in time and it still isn't enough. Maybe nothing goes wrong technically and it stays with you anyway for reasons you can't fully explain to yourself, let alone anyone else. You go back to the station afterward and everyone is quiet in a specific way, not cold, just careful, the way people are careful around something heavy they've all carried themselves at some point. Someone puts a hand on your shoulder and says nothing, because there's nothing to say that would actually help, and everyone in the room already knows that. Here's the part nobody tells recruits at the academy. This call doesn't have a training module. There's no drill for it. What gets you through it isn't toughness. It's the 2 words most firefighters are terrified to say out loud. I'm not okay. The ones who say it get help, talk to someone, come back different but whole. The ones who don't say it carry it alone, and it costs them more than the call itself ever did. This is why they never talk about it. Not because it's secret, because it's heavy. And whichever way you carry it decides whether you make it to rank 6 at all, where the job hands you the machine that keeps everyone else alive. Rank 6, the driver engineer. You get promoted to engineer, the one who drives the rig and runs the pump, which sounds like a step back until you realize it's the opposite. Every life on that hose now depends on math you do under pressure. Correct pressure, correct flow, correct positioning, calculated in seconds while the building in front of you decides how much time you actually have. Get it wrong, and the crew inside gets nothing when they need everything. You become the person new probies watch to learn how a calm professional actually moves. Not fast for the sake of fast, precise, because precision is what fast is supposed to mean. You drive through red lights at intersections where a single distracted driver could end everything in the truck, every single shift, and you do it so routinely that your own family doesn't fully register what that means anymore. Your hands know the pump panel now the way they once knew nothing at all. And that competence, the fact that people trust you with the machine that keeps everyone alive, is exactly what puts a lieutenant's bars in front of you next. Rank 7 is where you stop fighting the fire and start fighting the decision. Rank 7, the lieutenant. Now you're the voice on the radio that a rookie needs to be steady, the way your first officer's voice was steady for you. You realize the job changed the moment they gave you the bars. You're not just executing a plan anymore. You're making it in real time with incomplete information, while the building actively tries to prove you wrong. You send your crew into a structure and stand at the door doing the hardest math in the fire service. How much risk is this building worth against these lives? Too cautious, and you fail the people trapped inside. Too aggressive, and you fail the people you command. There is no formula. There is only judgment built shift by shift, call by call, out of every rank you already survived. You write your first performance review for a probie who reminds you painfully of yourself. You catch a rookie's mistake before it becomes a story people tell for years. You start losing sleep over decisions instead of noises. And one ordinary Tuesday, the captain's office opens up and everyone, including you, already knows who they're going to ask. Rank 8, the captain. You run the house now. The schedule, the training, the morale, the maintenance requests nobody else wants to file, the budget meetings that feel like a different job entirely stapled onto the one you actually love. You're the person who tells a firefighter's family what happened, when something happens. You're the person new recruits are terrified of and, eventually, would run into a fire for. You catch yourself standing in the bay some mornings, coffee in hand, just watching your crew check gear. The exact ritual you did as a Probie, still happening, except now it happens because you built a house where it happens right, every single shift, whether you're watching or not. You attend more funerals than you'd like to count, for firefighters you knew, and for civilians whose names you only learned that day. Grief becomes something you carry as professionally as your radio, present but managed, never fully gone. Eventually a spot opens at Battalion. Everyone assumes you'll take it. You're not sure you will, because rank 9 is the first rank that takes you away from the fire. Rank 9, the Chief. If you take it, this is where the fires get farther away and the responsibility gets larger. You command multiple companies now, coordinate major incidents from outside the structure instead of inside it, and carry a radio that connects you to more crews than you can physically be near at once. You miss the truck more than you expected to. You miss the specific, contained clarity of a single fire in a single building with a single plan. The version of the job you fell in love with at rank 1. Command means holding 15 fires worth of variables at once, and none of them feel like the reason you joined. You attend city council meetings now. You negotiate budgets. You represent the department to people who've never smelled smoke that wasn't from a barbecue. And it's here, at the rank that looks the most impressive from outside the department, that the question finally arrives, the one that decides everything. Does this rank still connect to why you started, or did you climb so far you lost sight of the truck you used to ride? How you answer that is the only thing that gets you to rank 10, the answer I owe you from the beginning. Rank 10, the one who stays on the truck. Here's what everyone assumes rank 10 looks like. Chief's office, dress uniform, a desk with your name on the door. Here's what it actually looks like for the ones who get there whole. It's a veteran firefighter, could be a captain who turned down Battalion twice, could be a 20-year engineer who never wanted the bars at all, standing in the bay at 5 a.m., running a brand new Probie through gear checks for the 100th time, patient in exactly the way nobody was patient with them. Rank 10 is not a title. It's the version of you who made peace with rank 5 instead of burying it, and used everything that Call taught you to make sure the next generation doesn't carry it alone. It's choosing the truck over the office, again, on purpose, because the truck was always the actual job. The gear locker with your name and tape is long gone, replaced 20 times over by newer tape and newer names. It doesn't matter. You know exactly which drawer used to be yours. Rank 10 is being the calm voice on the radio a rookie needs, the way someone's voice was once steady for you, on a night you still remember perfectly, when you were soaked, shaking, and more alive than you'd ever felt. That's the place you'd least expect, not above the job, back at the bottom of it, on purpose, at 5 a.m., showing a scared kid how to check a mask. Somewhere right now, someone just watched a truck roll past their house and felt something they can't fully explain yet. In a few years, they'll show up to an academy at 5 a.m. and fail a time drill twice, and do it again anyway. They don't know about the Probie tape, or the call that stays, or the 2 words that save the ones who said them. They're about to find out. Rank 1 is starting over, for someone else, exactly the way it started for you. So, which rank are you closest to right now? Rank 2, still cleaning a truck that isn't dirty. Rank 5, carrying something you haven't said out loud yet. Rank 9, wondering if you climbed too far from the truck. Drop your rank in the comments, and if you know a firefighter, send them this video. They'll know exactly which call you're thinking of.